So a lot of people ask me what size grading monitor I usually prefer to work with. And for me, I would say the sweet spot for me is the 32-inch. And so here I'm using the Asus PA32UCX PK monitor. And this monitor is actually a perfect size for me, and I really love working with it. If I'm doing remote grading, for example, in hotel rooms or DIT situations, for example, then I would probably go with a slightly smaller monitor such as the Asus PQ22UC. And this is a great little monitor as well. It's a small OLED monitor, and for this situation, it's absolutely ideal. When I'm grading a movie, for example, for a DCP release or something like this, then I would go with grading in a theater with a projection area. When you're grading off a projector, because you're grading on a large screen generally, that can be a little rough on your eyes after a while. Now, a lot of people ask me sometimes, they say, Blake, do you like doing commercials or do you like doing feature films more? Well, good question. Actually, I started out doing feature films and I really like doing features. And then I went into doing commercials. Commercials, okay, you are spending a lot more time critically grading the shots. So for example, for a 2-minute commercial, you might spend up to 4 to 5 hours grading it. Whereas with a feature film, for a 2-hour movie, I would take usually around 1 week to grade the picture. So for a recent project, I did a digital intermediate grading in a theater. And for this, I was booked for a week to do the movie and I actually finished the movie in 3 days. So it can vary on the project. And so, for example, a picture like 2001 Space Odyssey, which was booked for a week long, even though it's a fairly long picture, I was able to complete the grading in 3 days, which is quite good. Now, for example, I had a project that was color grading a movie called Poltergeist, and Poltergeist is only a 6-reel picture. And so with that one, it took a full week because I had to use a mixture of film elements when I was grading this. And some people ask, but what about TV shows? Well, I've done quite a lot of TV programs, and TV programs, it can vary how much grading is actually involved in the shows. So in the most part, I used to like doing TV shows. I usually always prefer grading feature films. And so some people ask me, you know, when I was working in facilities in Hollywood, did I enjoy working more during the day or in the evening? It's an interesting question. When I first started, I was working the swing shift, which was 5 o'clock in the afternoon until 2 a.m. And that's when we were doing sort of the B titles. We were doing all the Technicolor MGM musicals and things like that. And this was a lot of fun, and it's a very low stress situation when you're doing that. Then I eventually was promoted to the day shift, where I was doing all the A-title pictures and working with the directors of the various films. This is a little more stressful, but it is also, I found that I enjoyed it a bit more when I was doing these. And so it was a lot more prestigious titles and things like this. And then people ask me too, do I enjoy working with the small color grading panels or the full-size Resolve panel? Well, I think I enjoy working with all of them equally well. I find that I can, as a seasoned professional, I can work with any of these panels and always get the optimum result. Although I would prefer to have the advanced panel, In this situation, since I'm working at home, I tend to always go with the smaller panel, because also my desk area here is not big enough. I can't really fit a full advanced panel on it. And so a lot of people ask me, do you take a lot of breaks when you're doing color correction? Well, this is something that I always tell people when I'm training, that it's very critical that you should take frequent breaks to rest your eyes, because you can get into a situation which is known as color drift. And if you are grading one color for a long period of time, your brain goes into sort of a drift, and you think you're looking at the right color when in fact you're not. And this happens to everybody, and you really should take breaks frequently just to rest your eyes, get a look at the outside world, just refresh your vision, and then continue on your job. And this will give you the best results at the end of the day. Sometimes when you try to push the envelope, as we say, it can backfire on you, because then all of a sudden you will look at what you graded and you see that the colors are completely wrong, and then you have to go over and fix from the time where your color vision started to drift off. I ran into this one time. I was doing a whole series of Pink Panther cartoons, and you start grading this one character in one single color, and then I stopped and went for dinner, and when I came back I looked at the picture and I saw that the Pink Panther wasn't pink anymore. And then I realized that I had to go back and regrade a certain section, because I saw that the color had drifted off at a certain stage, and he wasn't pink anymore, basically. And so this is something that is always important. And so, there are all these factors, having a monitor you can trust, taking frequent breaks, refreshing your eyes, even having neutral light in the grading suite. This is also something that is extremely important.